Noah Baumbach. No? All right. Million Ways to Die in the West? That wasn't good.
No.
I wasn't a fan of that movie. I still haven't watched Ted 2.
Oof.
Did you love Ted 1?
No.
Yeah?
We see, I did. And I subsequently did not really enjoy Ted 2.
Well, Mamma Mia 1 and 2 are excellent. Megan and I watched Mamma Mia, the first one, on our honeymoon on a cruise one day. And then the second one we love. We had the soundtrack blaring in our car for a long time.
I still have it in there.
She can sing.
I have not seen either.
Oh, dude. So
I mean, we've talked about this. You know my feelings that Lily is the more expressive one.
Skip 1, John, and just watch 2.
Because they kind of retell 1 in 2.
John, I guarantee that you will be drinking your old Rasputin with your monocle, because you're the horror czar, and you will be dancing. You will be up and dancing.
He'll be the dancing.
It has Colin Firth
King.
and Stellan Skarsgård reenacting a scene from Titanic on a boat while Dancing Queen plays, and Pierce Brosnan is dancing along with that. It's good. You don't like? Do you like ABBA? You're not an ABBA guy? Interesting.
No.
Anyway.
I mean, I love everyone in that cast. I'd rather watch Freddie Prinze Jr. and Julia Stiles movies.
You've been on a Julia Stiles kick.
I watched 3 Julia Stiles movies one weekend. So
I saw them pop up. I was like, oh, wow.
Well, because Down to You was on while I was cooking on a Sunday and doing laundry. And then after that, I watched, I can't even remember The Prince and Me then was on. I'm like, I just saw one. So I just sat down deliberately after work one day and watched that. And then I was going through Netflix and I was like, what movies do they have with Julia Stiles? And I found this weird movie called The Drowning, which is some weird like Lifetime thriller kind of crime movie. And I'm like, whatever, I'll watch it. It's got the boyfriend from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter is Dead. I regret that movie. But I still love Down to You and The Prince and Me. God bless those adorable little movies.
I haven't watched them.
Ever?
Oh,
wow.
I have no Prince in Me. I watched Letters to Juliet. That was good, right? Or is that the Under the Tuscan Sun?
That's Diane Lane.
Diane Lane.
I do have a soft spot for Under the Tuscan Sun.
And Sandra Oh.
Those Italian Oh, yeah, she's great. And I didn't mean to say oh, brother. The Italian vistas are wonderful in that. So in this movie, when Colin meets his demise, which makes me feel I'm super bummed for that kid. But a lot of people I read online, because I've been doing a lot of research, complain, like, why'd he go into this house? But he's a teenager, right? And he thinks he has a date with this girl he has a crush on, and he doesn't know she's a succubus. So.
But he knows something is up, though. That's the problem.
Because he shows up in the middle of nowhere.
No, it's still credible. It really is. I've seen so many times when I think back to high school that, like, some girl or some guy is kind of mockingly teasing the other one because it could the world knows they'd never be interested in them, even if it's just because one's a douchebag and the other's a nice person. But they still go over things because they think they're cute or they have a crush on them or they kind of wish they were a better version of themselves or something. And you go anyway. And in the boy's case, you throw in a little infatuation with it as well. But I kind of get it. Morbid curiosity. If she's in there and something's wrong, but it's like, what if I don't go? What am I missing out on? 17-year-olds aren't very smart. Sorry to any 17-year-olds listening. Me as a 17-year-old was an idiot compared to me Eve as an 18-year-old compared to the 19-year-old. Every time I look back a couple years on my life, I feel like I was an idiotic version of myself now. And so, like, your thought processes are just so much more, I don't know. Selfish, sex-driven.
I don't know. At 17,
adventurous. Adventurous, risk-taking.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of get it. And the director commented on the same thing, too.
That and I like the story about that. They just found a bunch of abandoned homes and they just shot in them.
But yeah, I bought it. It doesn't just feel like a blank horror trope. Even if he was a 30-year-old dude, he's kind of a social outlier. He feels misunderstood. He gets an opportunity with someone who, I don't know, for whatever reason, he thought she was interesting recently. I don't know. I buy it. I do. But it does still fall in that horror trope category, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I accept. I'm not dismissing the criticism of the scene. I'm just saying that I also understand the scene.
I guess just critics kind of outright saying no. Like they kind of forgot what they were like when they were 17.
Well, hold on. You like him. He's like one of the few really likable characters.
Yeah.
And then he just dies.
He's a good kid.
I think they're all likable characters. I
really
do.
Do you like Chip, Megan?
Which one is he?
He's Amanda's boyfriend.
Forgettable.
I love Chip so much when he's talking about the condoms in a very sincere
I went
kind
to
of
Super
way.
Target. And I'm not,
condoms. And
I'm not your man anymore.
I like that you said, what's Super Target when we saw that?
Yeah. And he's like, I spent like $12 on that corsage.
Right. Hey, I bought our tickets for the dance. Did you make the reservations at the Cheesecake Factory? Like everything that he said seemed like so sweet. He was almost too sweet, but not in a way that annoyed me.
And he said she had a front butt.
Favorable.
I don't know what that means. What front butt? What's a front butt? It's a butt in the front?
Those jeans are so low, I think I can see your womb.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get that one. And then I do like the line where she's like, Jennifer's evil. Yeah, I know. Not like high school evil, like real evil.
Well, and even when he was being seduced by Jennifer, when he felt, well, it wasn't totally clear that he was being dumped, but he assumed he was being dumped and he wasn't corrected when he said it. So he thought he was outright dumped, right? So then he's getting seduced by Jennifer, and Jennifer says, say I'm hotter than needy. And even then he recoils and says, why? You know, he wasn't vengeful or spiteful. He was horrified by the notion. It turned him off for a minute. But
she was trying to swim fan him. Yeah,
but you know, like I really like that character.
Oh, I do like at the end when she's in that crazy dress for prom, Amanda or Needy, and he's like, "You look beautiful," and she's like, "You're delusional."
That was another so much scene blood. That reminded me of Mean Girls, because remember when she went to the Halloween party and she was dressed in that ridiculous dress with the big goofy teeth and shit?
Oh wait, no, that was Lindsay Lohan.
Right.
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying that scene reminded me of Mean Girls.
Got it.
Not the actor. There's so many little Mean Girls-y things to me in this.
And then, all right, so then I have another thing. The band, how much did you like the guy's monologue that he had?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love that. So it's like, do you know how hard it is to make it as an indie band these days? There's so many of us, and we're all so cute. And it's like, if you don't get on Letterman and some retarded soundtrack, you're screwed, okay? Satan is our only hope. We're working with the beast now. We've got to make a really big impression on him. And to do that, we're going to have to butcher you and bleed you. And then Dirk is going to wear your face. Relax. I'm kidding about the face thing. The rest is going to happen.
Dirk looked horrified.
Yeah.
No, and he said it so sincere isn't the word. I don't mean sincere as in soft and emotional, but he meant it.
Yeah.
Like he meant all those things. And it sounded so natural when he said it. He even sounded emotionally, just mentally exhausted by the challenges that he saw for their band.
And he's like, do you want to work at the coffee cup for the rest of our lives? I don't. And
it's such a dry delivery.
He's good. And I think I like him in horror movies. I like him in Scream 4. I like him in Ready or Not.
I love him in Ready or Not. I love him in that scene. He reminds me of Ready or Not.
Oh, yeah. Thank You for Smoking. He's more roles. Let's Be Cops. I don't know.
Thank You for Smoking, which was maybe 2 years earlier than this or the same year, he basically delivered his dialogue with the same exact manner and sense of humor. And I love that Adam Brody-ness.
I will say with his band, I don't know if you ever went there, John, but I worked in a bar called Big Daddy's, just from probably 03 to 05. Then I worked there from 9 and 10. And we had a lot of bands that looked like that band. You know, we had My Chemical Romance.
Were they cute?
Yeah, just like cute, skinny little guys, you know, like in the same exact outfits that those guys were wearing. But you just had, like, we had, you know, the Ataris. We had all those kind of bands. So seeing the way that they dressed and, like, the crowds and how they kind of had female fans, the way that Jennifer was fawning after them, it felt real. And then I read the director, she used to kind of hang out with bands. She said that she would hang out with the Replacements and Collective Soul. Back in like
Collective Soul.
Oh, Soul Asylum in the 90s.
Both
in the late 80s, yeah. And so she was like, you know, you could kind of see how they treated their female fans. And I'm not like, I don't want to, but I saw some of this stuff, like the way that people fawn over these guys and follow them pretty much onto their buses. So watching the scene, I don't know, that felt pretty, I mean, no
authentic.
It felt authentic. And I liked, they weren't even good to these people. They were just kind of shits to them. I mean, they didn't take them to the Devil's Kettle and stab them.
Question about that.
Yeah.
The whole thing was they were supposed to sacrifice a virgin.
Yeah.
And they don't. So she gets the repercussions and then transitions into some sort of demon, succubus, vampire thing. Why doesn't it impact them at all? It was their ritual. Wouldn't you think it would mess with their fame? Like they're slightly less famous?
Less famous than before?
Like they're sort of off pitch, but people still find them catchy?
They're one-hit wonders?
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait. I understand that criticism, but if you were the devil... No, I'm serious. If you were the devil, this is the more logical outcome that we see in the movie. Because the devil still tempted them to murder, but because it wasn't the right sacrifice, the devil now gets to send a corruptor to the world of man.
I mean, I think he would honestly punish both of them because he's the devil. Why not?
Hey, if Jennifer hadn't been killed over the course of, I think it was like 3 months or something by Needy, maybe, with a little time, she would have heard that song, they would have rolled through again, and she'd think, I'm going to pay them a visit. Maybe she would have slaughtered them at the prom if she wasn't busy, getting kind of verbally combated by Needy and distracting herself by going after Needy's now ex-boyfriend. Maybe she would have been at the dance looking for her prey and been like, oh, right, those assholes who killed me.
Those asshats?
Yeah.
Do you think she would have killed them eventually? Or do you think she was too evil by then to even care?
I don't know. I mean, again, she still was Jennifer. She was just evil.
I think she would have made their life. So
I think the further she went, though, she seemed like she was detaching from her life as Jennifer and just going for it. Like, I don't give a shit anymore.
I feel like it's almost like addict behavior. I see what you mean, but she was still there. Like when she was getting angry and pissy during the pool scene with Needy, she was, blinded by maybe her rage or her drive, but it was still her behind there.
Yeah.
Ish. Her-ish.
I think she would have messed with Low Shoulder. I don't think she would have killed them all outright. I think she just would have followed them around and caused mayhem for them.
Oh my God. They sleep with some woman and then she murders the woman while she's in bed with them so they wake up with a dead body and like the police are there.
Needy just killed him because Needy's gangster.
Needy is gangster.
What's Needy going to do now? She can't go home.
Kick people's heads off.
Start a prison gang.
Wait, is she going back to prison?
Yeah, why not? She'll take it over.
Yeah.
Teach them all how to defend themselves.
Like
she could be Jane Constantine.
Oh.
Devil touched, but with a good heart.
Just going around killing.
Cynical good heart.
Going around killing bad guys. Like she's like Dexter, right? She just kills bad people.
So I want to back up to the Colin death, by the way, because I was just watching Dr. Sleep finally the other day, and to get the steam or like life essence or whatever from their child victims, Rose the Hat would need them scared and suffering. She didn't just kill them. They had to suffer and be horrified, and she wanted that. She wanted to draw it out, right? And she even talked about the main girl about keeping her like a cow and milking her suffering. And when Jennifer is killing Colin, she said, I need you hopeless. I get that with suffering, the devil, infernal things, but that's another, maybe Mike Flanagan loves Jennifer's body.
One thing that I don't think got enough attention in this movie was the cinematography. What do you think about that? Were there any shots that kind of stick out in your mind?
Oh, actually, well, I guess most of the shots that stick in my mind are more by virtue of the editing than the shots themselves, but all like those that. Would you call it cinematography, by the way, Mark? Because I don't know the terminology. When the guy's on the other side of the football field and the camera kind of fast tracks at him, like that shot followed by that awesome woodsy scene followed by her swimming after. That was like a series of very interesting shots. All the shots of the Devil's Kettle waterfall and hole in the ground, they were like something out of an Irish mystical movie like The Hollow.